Hey everybody, and welcome back to another fun-filled math lesson. Today we're talking about dividing decimals. And what we need to know about dividing decimals in 7th grade is that nothing changes from 6th grade or 5th grade or whenever it was you learned about dividing decimals. Nothing changes. We're just going to add one tiny rule to the end where we pay attention to the positives and the negatives. The math doesn't change. You still divide like normal. You still move the decimal like you normally would. It's just at the very end we're going to pay really close attention to, is this answer positive or negative? And for that, we're going to use our 6th grade rules where we learned about integers. So we're just going to take two things and we're going to put them together. So let's jump in. All right. There are several ways we can talk about dividing fractions. They can be written in many different ways, so we're going to try to hit on a couple of those. One way is if it's written like 0.7 divided by negative 3.5. Now, when a problem is written like this, we read it left to right, and when we write it, we write the inside number divided by the outside number. So the first thing we have to do is rewrite this problem so that we can work it out. So first step, we're going to rewrite it. So we can work it out. So this number goes inside, this one goes out. So 0.7 goes in the house, divided by negative 3.5. We're going to leave off the negative for now because it's not going to affect the division. So we rewrote it. Good. All right. Second step. We have got to move our decimal the same number of spaces inside and outside. My goal is for this number to be a whole number. So however many spaces I have to move it to make this a whole number, I move the inside also. So this one, I have to move it one space to the right to make this 35. So I pick this one up and move it one space to the right to make that 7. And wherever your decimal lands inside, it goes straight up. So you jump and up, jump and up. All right, so that's step 2. We are going to move decimal same number of spaces inside and outside, and then it goes straight up. All right, next, now it's set up so we can actually work out the problem. So step 3 is going to be to divide our decimals. So step 3, we're going to divide decimals. We're just going to say divide. So can 35 go into 7? No. Can 30, so if it's no, we're going to add a 0 right here. Can 35 go into 70? Yeah, 2 times. 2 times 35 is 70. There we are. All right, last step. The last thing I have to do is assign this as a positive or a negative. So I always want to ask myself at the end, is this positive or negative? Positive or negative? So a positive divided by a negative is a negative. Remember our tricks, not tricks, just math. If, let's say 70 divided by, no, we're going to keep it easy. If 2 divided by 2 is 1, then the opposite of 2 divided by 2 would be the opposite of 1. So then the opposite of 2 divided by the opposite of 2 would be 1 again. So it does that back and forth flip over the 0. 2 divided by 2 is positive 1. So then the opposite of that would be the opposite of 1. So then the opposite of that would be the opposite of that. So it jumps back and forth. So this one is negative 0.2. All right, let's try another example. If we have negative 1.03, so I'm going to scooch this down. If I have negative 1.03 divided by negative 5. Negative 1.03 divided by negative 5. What's my first step? I need to rewrite this. Which number is going to go in the box, in the house? Which number goes in here? The 1.03. So scooch this. So 1.03 goes inside the house. So 5 goes outside the house. I'm going to leave off my decimals because it's not going to change my work. So is there a decimal outside of the house? No. So we're not going to move our decimal at all. And when that happens, the decimal goes straight up where it was. And now we're going to divide around that decimal. Can 5 go into 1? No. Can 5 go into 10? 2 times. Can 5 go into, bring down the 3. Can 5 go into 3 though? No. So we have to put a 0 on top. That's 0. Subtract. Now 3. Now we add another 0. Bring it down. Can 5 go into 30? 6 times. 6 times 5 is 30. What's the last step I need to do? Is this positive or negative? So I've got negative divided by negative. So is this a positive 0.206 or negative 0.206? It's a positive because a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So this is a positive 0.206. 0.206. And if it's positive, we don't have to write the sign. It's assumed. All right, last example. This one's for you guys to do on your own. So this one's 4.2 over negative 2.4. This is a different way to show division. This number is going to go in the house, and this one is going to go out. And that line, fractions are just another way to show division. So what is 4.2 divided by negative 2.4? You should end up with negative 1.75. There's the rest of the work. All right, and it is a negative because a positive divided by a negative is a negative. All right, we only have one more operation to cover, and next we'll do dividing fractions, which just like this, where we only add one little step. So thanks for hanging in there. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Click the bell, notifications, y'all know the drill. See you next time. Bye, guys.